Imagine for a moment that your entire life, your choices, your emotions, your failures, your victories, even the way you interpret every experience is being silently shaped by a single invisible force. A force that operates quietly in the background, influencing your reactions long before you realize you've reacted, guiding your decisions long before you understand why you chose what you chose. This force is the number one universal law that controls every human life without them knowing it, the law of belief. Whatever you believe, you become. Whatever you repeat to your mind, consciously or unconsciously, turns into the reality you live inside. Most people walk through life thinking they are making independent decisions, but they are actually acting out scripts that were written by their past experiences, their fears, their environment, their upbringing, and the meanings they have attached to moments they barely remember. When you believe you are not good enough, life constantly presents evidence to prove you right. When you believe you're capable of growth, life presents opportunities that expand you. But what's shocking is that most beliefs aren't chosen, they are absorbed. You absorb them from your parents, school, society, culture, traumas, and even random comments someone made when you were young. And the moment those beliefs settle into your mind, they become the invisible lens through which you experience everything. This paragraph sets the stage for understanding that life is not shaped by what happens to you, but by what you think those events mean. Think about how many moments in your life felt small at the time but secretly programmed you for years. A teacher telling you that you're slow, a parent comparing you to someone else, a friend laughing at something you cared about, a failure that made you question your abilities, all these events plant seeds. Over time, those seeds grow into beliefs, and those beliefs grow into patterns. The law of belief works quietly, almost mechanically. When you carry a belief of unworthiness, you unconsciously sabotage opportunities because your mind rejects anything that contradicts your internal identity. When you believe you don't deserve love, you cling to the wrong people or push away the right ones. When you believe life is against you, every challenge feels like proof of your victimhood. And here's the twist: the human brain hates being wrong. So once a belief is formed, the mind begins filtering reality to confirm it. You attract experiences, interpret events, and seek meaning in ways that keep your belief alive. That is why two people can go through the same situation, one grows stronger, the other breaks down. The situation wasn't different. The beliefs were. So the universal law continues to work silently, shaping your life even when you think you are in control. As you move through life, these beliefs begin forming your identity. An identity is not just who you say you are, it's who you think you are allowed to be. If you believe you are a failure, no amount of motivation can save you. If you believe you are limited, no achievement will ever feel enough. Identity becomes the strongest force in the human mind. You will never consistently behave in ways that contradict what you believe about yourself. That's why people return to toxic relationships, destructive habits, or the same cycles year after year. Not because they enjoy it, but because their identity has locked them inside a psychological cage. And yet, this cage is invisible. It's created by thoughts, yet it feels as real as steel. The law of belief shapes your identity, and your identity shapes your destiny. Every action, big or small, flows from who you think you are. Most people never update this identity. They live based on beliefs formed in childhood, carrying emotional wounds and mental programming that no longer represent who they could be. They think they are choosing, but it is the law silently guiding every choice. But here is the deeper truth: beliefs don't just shape behavior, they shape the possibilities you allow yourself to imagine. A belief is like a boundary line surrounding your potential. When you believe you are capable, you open doors inside your mind that would otherwise stay locked. When you believe something is impossible, your brain stops looking for pathways. So the law of belief doesn't just influence your emotions, it decides what future you think is available to you. Think of people who took massive leaps in life: entrepreneurs, leaders, artists, thinkers. They didn't start with talent, they started with belief. They believed something about themselves or their vision that others didn't. Belief makes you try, and trying makes you grow, and growth changes your life. Meanwhile, people who stay stuck aren't stuck because they lack opportunity, they're stuck because they never believed opportunity was meant for them. This internal limitation is as powerful as a physical barrier. The law of belief makes it real. To understand how deeply this law controls your life, look at how your mind reacts when you face failure. Most people don't experience failure objectively. They experience it through the filter of their beliefs. If you believe failure means I'm worthless, you avoid risks your whole life. If you believe failure means I'm learning, you become unstoppable. Same event, different life path. The mind is constantly interpreting reality, but it never interprets neutrally. It interprets based on the story you already believe. And because the law is always active, every failure either breaks you or builds you. Every rejection either wounds you or strengthens you. Every challenge is either a punishment or a lesson. The power was never in the event, it was always in the meaning. And meaning is dictated by belief. You don't react to the world, you react to your beliefs about the world. The reason most people don't realize this law is controlling them is because beliefs operate like software running in the background. You don't notice it until something crashes. Think of how you repeat the same patterns in relationships, the same financial habits, the same fears, the same reactions. These are not coincidences, they are programs. And these programs were written long before you learned how to question them. This is why awareness is life-changing. The moment you become conscious of your beliefs, you can begin rewriting them. But most people never stop to ask, is this belief even mine? Did I choose it? Is it helping me or hurting me? Life changes the moment you start questioning what you once accepted automatically. The law of belief controls you until you learn to control it. And that requires confronting everything you think is true about yourself. Once you identify a limiting belief, the transformation begins. Beliefs don't change through hope, they change through evidence and repetition. You must feed your mind new experiences, new thoughts, new interpretations that contradict the old belief. When you consistently act in alignment with a new identity, strong, capable, worthy, intelligent, your brain begins to update its internal script. It takes time, but once the shift happens, everything changes. You begin noticing opportunities you used to ignore. You start handling challenges with strength you didn't know you had. The world doesn't change, you do. And when you change, life rearranges itself around your new identity. The law of belief starts working in your favor rather than against you. It becomes the engine of your growth instead of the anchor of your suffering. In the end, the number one universal law that controls your life is not fate, destiny, luck, or circumstances, it is belief. It is the invisible author of your story, shaping every chapter through the meanings you accept. The most powerful moment in any person's life is when they realize they are not victims of this law, they are the masters of it. You can choose what you believe, and therefore you can choose who you become. When you rewrite your beliefs, you rewrite your identity. When you rewrite your identity, you rewrite your actions. And when you rewrite your actions, you rewrite your life. Every transformation begins with a single question: what do I believe about myself, and is it helping me become who I want to be? The moment you dare to answer that question honestly, you break free from the invisible force that once controlled you, and you step into a life shaped not by old stories, but by conscious choice.